Australia isn't just the land down under, it's one of the strangest, most extreme, and most mind-blowing geographic regions on Earth. From pink lakes to giant reefs visible from space, exploding mountains, and cities where kangaroos outnumber people, Australia constantly breaks the rules of geography. Today, you'll explore 15 unbelievable facts about Australia that sound like fiction until you see the evidence yourself. To begin with, Australia is a country unlike any other because it is the only nation that is also an entire continent. It's the smallest continent, yet the sixth largest country. And that creates an environment where you can experience nearly every climate zone within one border. You have burning red deserts stretching endlessly across the Outback, dense tropical rainforests dripping with life, snow-covered alpine regions in the southeast, humid coasts in the north, and temperate beaches on the east and west coasts. No other country on Earth packs so much environmental diversity into a single political unit. Speaking of coasts, Australia has over 10,000 beaches. If you visited one every single day, it would take you 27 years to see them all. Some of these beaches have become world famous, like Whitehaven Beach with its swirling white silica sand that doesn't heat up under the sun, or Hyams Beach, which many claim has the whitest sand on the planet. From Bondi's iconic surf to the remote turquoise bays in Western Australia, the country is literally a coastline paradise. Just offshore lies one of Australia's greatest wonders, the Great Barrier Reef. This reef is so massive that astronauts can see it from outer space. Stretching over 2,300 kilometers, it's larger than the entire country of Italy and hosts more biodiversity than the Amazon rainforest. It is the largest living structure on Earth, composed of billions of tiny coral organisms working together to create a world so vibrant and delicate that scientists consider it one of the planet's greatest natural treasures. But Australia isn't only home to colorful reefs. It also has lakes that defy logic. One of the most mind-bending sights is Lake Hillier, a perfectly pink lake located on Middle Island. The water isn't dyed. It's naturally bubblegum pink due to special microorganisms like Dunaliella salina that produce red pigments. Even if you scoop out the water and put it in a bottle, it stays pink. Other lakes, like Lake Eyre, also shift into pink tones depending on the salinity level. The contrast between bright pink water and deep blue ocean is one of Australia's most surreal natural spectacles. Travel inland and you'll realize that most of Australia is empty. Nearly 70% of the country is outback or desert. This vast interior is so sparsely populated that in some areas you can drive for hours without seeing another human being. Temperatures soar so high in certain regions that towns like Coober Pedy have built homes underground to escape the heat. Entire communities live in caves carved into sandstone hills, creating a strange subterranean world of underground churches, homes, and shops. Another astonishing fact about Australia is that it has rivers that run backward and upside down. At least, that's what it looks like. Take the Fitzroy River in Western Australia. During the wet season, heavy monsoon rains cause the river to swell so dramatically that the water appears to flow uphill due to massive tides pushing the water back inland. These are called tidal bores, and the effect is so powerful that entire sections of rivers seem to reverse direction. In some places, walls of water several meters high rush upstream, creating one of the continent's most dramatic natural spectacles. It's a reminder that Australian landscapes aren't just unusual, they're alive, constantly shifting, and often unpredictable. And speaking of unpredictable, Australia is home to the world's oldest rainforest, the Daintree. At over 180 million years old, it's tens of millions of years older than the Amazon. When you step into the Daintree, you're entering a living prehistoric world. A place where ancient ferns tower overhead, cassowaries roam like dinosaurs, and plants that existed before the first human civilizations still thrive untouched. The Daintree contains species found nowhere else on Earth, many unchanged for millions of years. Scientists often describe it as a window into our planet's past, and for good reason. But while the Daintree is incredibly lush and wet, Other parts of Australia are so dry that they barely see rain at all. The Simpson Desert, for example, is home to massive red sand dunes that stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Some of these dunes reach 30 meters in height, forming a bright orange sea of sand that seems to glow under the sun. But here's the twist. Despite being a desert, the Simpson holds the world record for the longest parallel sand dunes. These dunes run in nearly perfect straight lines, one after the other, like Earth's natural fingerprints. It's a geometric marvel created by thousands of years of wind patterns. Meanwhile, off the southern coast of Tasmania lies a phenomenon most people have never heard of: the Southern Lights, or the Aurora Australis. While the Northern Lights get most of the fame, the Southern Lights can be just as spectacular. Rippling waves of green, pink, purple, and blue lighting up the entire sky. In certain seasons, the lights dance across Tasmania's dark skies with such intensity that photographers travel from around the world just to capture the spectacle. Few people realize that Australia, a country usually associated with scorching heat, is also one of the best places to witness this icy cosmic light show. Australia is also home to the flattest continent, and yet it contains some of the most bizarre and dramatic rock formations ever discovered. Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, rises like a giant red monolith out of a flat desert plain. It is one of the world's largest isolated rocks, so massive that 2/3 of it lies underground. Depending on the time of day, Uluru shifts colors from deep red to purple to gold, creating one of the most mesmerizing natural light shows imaginable. And then there's the Bungle Bungle Range in Western Australia, with its striped orange and black beehive-shaped domes that look almost extraterrestrial. But while Australia's landforms are extraordinary, its wildlife is even stranger. And that's where geography plays a key role. Because Australia became isolated from other continents around 45 million years ago, its ecosystems evolved in complete isolation. That's why the continent is full of animals found nowhere else: kangaroos, koalas, wombats, emus, quokkas, platypuses, and echidnas. Even its dangerous creatures, snakes, spiders, jellyfish, and crocs, are shaped by the continent's extreme environments. Geography didn't just create Australia's landscapes, it sculpted an entire alternate version of Earth's wildlife. Even Australian cities reflect this geographic uniqueness. Consider Canberra, a city chosen not because of historical significance, but because it was the exact midpoint compromise between Sydney and Melbourne. It's one of the very few capital cities in the world that was planned from scratch, designed with geometric precision, circular road systems, artificial lakes, and green belts. Meanwhile, Perth is known as the most isolated major city on Earth. It's closer to Bali than to Sydney, and the nearest big city is over 2,000 kilometers away. Yet it thrives, surrounded by pristine beaches and untouched wilderness. And then you have cities like Darwin in the north, where the geography creates a completely different world. Darwin has only 2 seasons, wet and dry, and during the wet season, lightning storms are so intense that the region is called the lightning capital of the world. Massive electrical storms roll in nightly, illuminating the sky in bright flashes that can be seen from miles away. Combine that with crocodiles living in the seaside wetlands, and you get a city unlike any other on Earth, a tropical lightning-powered gateway to Australia's wildest landscapes. But even with all these extremes, perhaps nothing is more shocking than the fact that Australia drifts northward every single year. Thanks to tectonic movement, the entire continent shifts about 7 centimeters annually. This makes Australia one of the fastest moving continents in the world. The drift is so significant that GPS coordinates must be regularly updated to keep navigation systems accurate. Imagine living on a landmass that's literally sliding across the planet, slowly but steadily heading toward Asia. It's geography in motion, shaping the future in real time. Another remarkable feature lies beneath the surface. Australia contains the world's largest underground river system in the Nullarbor Plain. Despite being one of the flattest and driest places on the continent, it hides extensive caves and water channels created millions of years ago. Some of these caves are so vast they could fit skyscrapers inside. The region is also home to blowholes, sinkholes, and mysterious underground lakes that divers describe as some of the clearest water on Earth. It's a hidden world, one most people will never see. And if you think that's surreal, Australia also has a lake that disappears entirely and then returns. Lake George in New South Wales has baffled scientists for generations. Some years, it's a massive body of water. In other years, it dries up completely and becomes farmland. Its water levels don't follow rainfall patterns, and its sudden vanishings and reappearances remain a scientific mystery. It's yet another example of how unpredictable and strange Australian geography can be. Finally, it's impossible to talk about Australia without acknowledging its ancient human connection. The continent is home to the oldest continuous culture in the world, the Aboriginal Australians. Their relationship with the land stretches back at least 65,000 years, and many geographical features across the country carry deep cultural, spiritual, and historical significance. Their knowledge of the land, its seasons, plants, animals, and stories, forms one of the most sophisticated ecological traditions on Earth. To protect livestock in these inland regions, Australia built the longest fence in the world. The Dingo Fence stretches a staggering 5,614 kilometers, longer than the Great Wall of China within China's borders. Its entire purpose is to keep dingoes from preying on sheep in the southeast. It's one of the largest human-made structures on Earth, yet most travelers never see it because it runs through remote rural land, and that's only scratching the surface of Australia's geographical oddities. The more you explore, the stranger it gets.